The chase, the late night calls, the rag-eating breath and broken sweaty walls. The cracks, the building pressure, the gallic shrug and total pain forever, forever. Why don't you stay?
Hey everyone, welcome to the Soundtrack of Our Lives podcast. I'm Mackayla. We're going to kick things off with the two hardest questions of all. Who are you and what have you been up to recently?
We are Alley Eyes. We're a local indie band from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We've just put out a new EP called Bondage in the Afternoon. We put it out about 2.5, 3 weeks ago. And we're now hard at work playing live and trying to have an online presence to support it while working on what's to come and what's to follow up.
Super exciting. Yeah, so you guys have that new EP out. What have people thought of it so far?
I think it's been pretty well received so far, at least locally. We're growing online more than we ever have before, which has been great. We've got a lot of good feedback, especially on our closing track on that EP called Bloodstain. I think that's been like a crowd favorite so far, but all in all, it feels like the best received piece of music or project we've ever put out. So
It's exciting. If you said that's the one that's received live, is that your favorite off of the EP to play live?
I'd say to play live for sure. We were talking earlier today, I think across the group, that and another song called High Plains Grifter are probably the two favorite, just in terms of like listening to, most proud of, but I'd say Bloodstain's probably the favorite to play live.
Yeah, Bloodstain has some of the widest range of it uses electronic drums, it uses an acoustic kit, it spans this whole wide range of sounds, and it gets quiet to big to quiet to big again. So it's just very dynamic, and it gives us, it's very interesting and fun to play live because you're working with such a wide range of sounds and feelings and just intensities. So it keeps it fun every time, and it's just, I think it's a great song. It's maybe my favorite song we've done so far. So it just, it feels great to play live.
For sure. And it's been closing our sets for the better part of a year at this point. So I think it's also it typically trying to end with hopefully making the biggest impact we can. So having that last little push of energy to finish out a set, it's definitely made a lot of fun.
So you said that it's your favorite song. What is everyone else's favorite song?
I like the lead track on our EP. Is called Roman Holiday. That one's just very upbeat and fun. I feel like it's just a song that I can't help and smile when I listen to. It's just enjoyable, I feel like, in that.
I think I'll always be a little partial to No Good, just because that was I don't know, that was kind of when I was joining the band. That was kind of the song that we pushed first, and I don't know, other than Tangerines, but I was actually a part of No Good, so that was kind of cool to have that roll out.
Jason?
I'll stick with Bloodstain. I think Bloodstain's the favorite. I mean, I like them all. I just yesterday was working and put on the EP to finish out my Friday to get myself into the weekend, and I know it's a bit of a cop-out, but truly I'm proud of all of them. I like the drums, and I think they're really produced. I think they're all produced really well, so, but probably Bloodstain's the favorite.
So looking back, when you guys were putting it together, what did that process look like? From initial writing the songs up until putting it out there.
It was a pretty wild, not wild, but pretty at times hectic journey of we didn't necessarily, I think we knew we wanted to write a project. We didn't know how many songs that was going to be, what was going to be on there. And it definitely came together over the course of, a year and a half or so, longer if you take even some of the beginnings of the songs. We recorded two of them, High Plains Grifter and Tangerines, first, all the way back in last summer. And then we recorded the next three this past January, all with local producer Derek Moffat at 608 Studios. And it was definitely this wild journey of it's 5 songs, and we always knew we probably wanted an EP. At a certain point, we knew we wanted an EP of 5 to 6 songs. But even by the time we had written and recorded those first 2, what the other 3 were going to be was kind of up in the air. I think we knew Roman Holiday was going to be one at that point, but the other two hadn't necessarily solidified yet. So there was like potential ideas that we worked on for a while. Is this it? Is it not? Getting rid of it, and just definitely trying. Once we had the collection of songs that we were, very proud of, and we felt that they meant a lot to us, trying to make them work on them and hone them so that they felt like not only just like 5 good standalone songs, but a cohesive project that they all fit together. So it was a lot of work and a lot of hours, and it probably took like a year and a half total to put together. But it was, at the end of the day, it was enjoyable. I walked away feeling like I at least personally learned a lot from the songwriting process of these 5, and like we've said before, I think we ended up with the best product we've had so far.
I think getting to like start recording longer, like further out than they were going to come out than we have in the past. I think I speak for all of us that it was definitely nice of getting to go back and listen to those songs again. And like recording in June, and the first single didn't come out till February, so you having a lot of time to listen to those songs, and it just kind of reflected on like feeling like we did something right and made something that we were proud of, that we got to continue to go back to them over that period before anyone else had heard them, and continue to be like, no, we like these songs and we're passionate about them and feel like we did a good job making them. So that was really nice.
Yeah, so from that initial recording in June, how much did they change to when they came out?
Not a lot. There were like some little tweaks of mixes here and there. I'd say the one that changed the most was Roman Holiday, because that one we recorded in January.
Yeah.
And from like the June to January period, we worked on that one a lot and changed it up. But from the moment we actually went in to record them to eventual release, they stayed
pretty much stayed the
consistent.
same. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. That means you wrote a good song initially.
That's the hope.
You don't have to change it too much. It's always good.
For sure.
Yeah, so you guys have mentioned playing live. Have there been any shows recently that really stand out or that are super memorable?
Yeah, we just put on a release show at like one of our favorite Milwaukee venues called Cactus Club for our EP, and had some bands on that bill that we were like really grateful to have. We had Bugsy from Minneapolis on that bill, and then another Milwaukee band called Well and Good. It was really nice to have them there. We had a local brewery in Milwaukee make like a tangerine themed beer for us.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, that was really just like unique and fun. And then just like, we don't, as like a smaller band, we don't play our own headline shows too frequently. So to be able to have that like full shebang headline show was really fun. And like seeing all the people there who came basically just for us, I mean, not just for us, but came to see us, was like a really special feeling. I think it's kind of like like you work so hard and you record this music and then you have it for so long as you like go through the release cycle, and like the final big reward is always that like first release show. So yeah, that one stands out for me.
Yeah, I think also, we came off of 2 different festival performances local this year. Summer Solstice in downtown Milwaukee, and then Summerfest playing at the BMO Pavilion, opening for Cake. Yes, sorry, apologies. For local artists, Summerfest is a very cool festival, and one of the only festivals that I know that really makes a effort to showcase a lot of their local talent. So for a lot of local bands, it's the biggest stage you'll ever play for a long time in your career. That's definitely true for us. Like getting to play at a stage that big, it's such a big, important festival. That's one that also sticks out to me.
Yeah, I was actually at Summerfest this year.
Really?
Oh, who'd you see?
Yeah, because I'm from Boston, so me and my friend went out to see another band that we like, and we flew out there it was a Friday, I think. Yeah, I think the headliners were the Killers.
No way, that's the day we played.
Really?
Yeah.
If I had known you guys, I would have come to see you. So do you have any like favorite moments from shows that you've done recently, or like things that stand out?
Well, I'll say with that Summerfest show, even though it was in the pre-show, with AJ talking about like us going to see Killers that night, for those that don't know, the setup of Summerfest was like, it's not a traditional festival. Like to see the headliners, you pay extra to go into this like giant amphitheater setup, and that's where the Killers were at, and we had tickets to go, and our stage was like the closest. Sorry, Colton's declining a call. What did you do?
We're still on the call. We're just
AJ, finish the story while we figure this out.
Oh, no, we got.
Oh, we're back. Okay, never mind. Apologies. It was like our stage was the closest stage to where the Killers were. So when we were doing our sound check at like 1 PM, you could hear the Killers doing their sound check. So yeah, you just hear little glimpses of like Jenny was a friend of mine, or when you were young. And especially for me and AJ, being big Killers fans, it felt cool to like be in that proximity of like, while we were sound checking, they're sound checking. It just kind of felt like a nice moment of, again, just like we're doing the right things and feel like we're making progress as a band that we're really proud of and take a lot of pride in. And then that was all made better of like that being a really great show that we felt like we had, some people we didn't know that were out for, but also a lot of friends and family come out to support and watch. So that was definitely a standout.
Yeah, I think a moment that has stood out to me in a couple shows in our past memory of this past couple months has been, we're still a relatively small local band. We're definitely growing our roots and growing our community and fan base, but still a relatively small band comparatively speaking. But off this EP, the song that we put out first was Tangerines, which we put out back in Valentine's Day, which I think alongside Bloodstain has been a fan favorite, and in being out longest has had the longest time to like kind of sit with some people who come to our shows. And so something we started getting that, I'm the singer, and it's really fun to be able to like sing Tangerines and have people know the lyrics very well and be singing it along with us, and like being able to like pause for a moment and hear other people singing it. It's just been a moment that it's been something that's happened for a couple of our shows now. That's just been a very fun, meaningful part of our shows to me.
Do you guys have any pre or post show rituals?
Pre-show, I feel like we've struggled with this to like really force something and like come up with a bit. But it's kind of just turned into like all of us we'll turn around, we'll like drink a little bit, but we'll all look at each other and we'll like dap each other up and just be like, my dog. So that's running bit pre-show. Post-show, it's more like, okay, someone get off stage and go to the merch table and like meet and mingle with people who came to see us, and then typically me and probably Jason as the drummer are just like tearing down the stage. So not as exciting post-show, unfortunately. Malort shots, I feel like, are usually a theme at our show.
We're doing a lot more Malort shots now. That's really this year thing. We did our first Chicago show in February, and I feel like that was, correct me if I'm wrong, y'all, but I feel like that was kind of what started Malort shots being a thing.
Yeah.
I fuck with Malort.
Bonding through punishment.
At least it's something.
Yeah,
It's a ritual of sorts.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you're like, in boot camp as a soldier, and you get like you and all the other guys in your group or whatever bonding, because you're like, man, this sucks for all of us, but at least we share that. And that's how I feel. And I take the Malort shot, and then I immediately usually catch someone else's eye, and I can just like feel their pain. And I'm like, same. I'm right here with you.
That's the you thing. Like I said, I fuck with Malort. Can we swear on this? Is that
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay, cool.
Do you have a favorite venue that you've ever played?
Well, it's announced now, so we can hype that we're playing Vivarium next month, which is one of our bigger venues in Milwaukee that caters to local bands. It's part of like a larger chain of venues that we have, and that's the smallest of the four. And we're playing our first show there next month, opening for Age of Madness, who's a band I assume based out of New York, but Jeremy Jordan's this big actor on Broadway, and it's the band that he fronts. So we're going to play there for the first time next month, and that's one we haven't done yet that I think we're all really excited to hit as far as local venues go.
Yeah, very excited.
For venues that you have played, do you have a favorite you've played at?
I think Cooperage is kind of cool.
Yeah, there's a venue in Milwaukee called the Cooperage, which like duels as a wedding venue. And it's just like a super, I don't know, it's like a rustic, antique building, and the stage is very elevated versus like where the crowd sits.
It's like a warehouse kind of factory feel.
Yeah,
very cool.
Sure.
There's also one that we played. So we're playing the one next month, Vivarium, but it replaced a venue that used to be called the Back Room that no longer exists, which was run out of a coffee chain, Collectivo. And it was just this very cool venue, a similar size as this new Vivarium. I don't remember what the cap is, but it was this, coffee house. It had all this like flora and fauna around it, and they had this very cool open skylight kind of over half over the stage, half over the audience. And it gave it this very like, dark but intimate feeling to all the shows. So I missed that one, but that's definitely been a favorite. It was a favorite of mine to play in the past.
We've also got a great revolving door of DIY venues in Milwaukee and Madison. We had to play a couple of them that have since closed down. And I think Griffin was just the other day texting our band group chat about a couple new ones that might be opening, a lot of them near college campuses. So as school year comes back, some new venues opening up that are DIY and built out of people's basements. So that's always a fun way to play shows and kind of immerse yourself in the indie band community.
Yeah, RIP. The washroom.
Washroom was beautiful. Club Kramer was
Club
great.
Kramer.
There was this rad venue in Madison called Boob House that none of y'all played. It was like a super LGBT plus friendly venue that was fucking rad.
Yeah, RIP Madison Manor.
Yeah. We have a lot of. We're very fortunate across these two cities to play a lot of those. Those are fun.
What is your favorite aspect about the local music scene?
I think
Pretty aspect.
I was going to say, like, personally for me, I feel like we were just talking about all the house shows in the community that we have here in Milwaukee. Like, I feel like there is an element to it where it is like if you know someone kind of thing, where it's like an exclusivity in some aspects to it. But then like once you're incorporated into it, then it's like everything just opens up for you and you start hearing about all these shows. And I feel like the amount of energy you put into the community here with music, you get a lot of that back.
Yeah, I would agree. I'd say it's a community full of people, definitely. Like I said, it kind of takes a minute to establish yourself and for people to know who you are. But once they do, it's a very welcoming community. It's a very friendly community. It's wide ranging. It's like genres and sounds. And, I've been lucky enough to meet some of my best friends and some incredibly important people of my life who I never would have met, without the music scene within Milwaukee.
It's also great to get to play in a city of the greatest beers and the greatest baseball team in the country. So I'm happy about that too.
Greatest basketball team too.
I don't know if I'm with you on that one. Greatest baseball team.
I'm from Boston, so I might have to argue with that, but
I don't know, man.
Yeah, you have strong standing.
13 games, 13 in a row.
For someone who's trying to get started in their local music scene, what advice would you have for them?
Just start going to shows. I think, the first thing that'll kind of like, when you're trying to make your way into any group, you just first need to show up to places where you can meet the kinds of people in this community, which is just first and foremost shows. There's a lot of really cool venues within Milwaukee that primarily highlight local bands. We've named a couple of them: Cooperage, Cactus Club, X-Ray Arcade, Falcon Bowl. And if you just start showing up to shows, especially, the ones that you're just naturally interested in, bands you're interested in, genres you're interested in, by just showing up, by being there, if people see you more than once or twice, they're probably going to come up to you and talk to you. And that's just the easiest way to start making connections and becoming known and being welcomed into spaces, meeting people that will, help you discover other cool bands. Or if you want to get into the scene, collaborate and start making your own music, that's the best place to meet people. So I can think of a number of people that truly I have a relationship now that I never would have expected. That wasn't someone I was introduced to. It was just someone we were at the same shows 3 or 4 times. And finally one of us was like, I've seen you around, who are you? I want to introduce myself, and, made some really meaningful relationships that way. And it all starts with just showing up.
Yeah, I'd second that. I'd also say to do it because you love it. I think it's a Dave Grohl quote of like to people starting a band, it's like, do it out of your love of music and don't expect a lot. If that's not enough, then don't do it. I think that there's definitely you'll find a lot of people, especially in a social media era, of wanting to, whether it's music or anything in the arts or something that feels out of reach to a degree, that it's just a desire of avoiding having a real job or to amass this big following. But I don't know. I think for all of us, it first comes down to, that love of playing music. And, the hope is to get, for this thing to get bigger and to continue to touch more people with the music that we make. But at the end of the day, I think even if we're playing to 2 or 3 people a night, we'll keep doing that for the rest of our lives out of the love of playing and being together.
That's awesome.
And none of them seconded me on that, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's just a me thing. But,
Yeah, no, I want to sell out and make it big.
exactly.
No, seconded, absolutely.
Yeah, you should have heard the questions like, what venue do you want to play? And I'm like, oh, this cool local venue. And Colton's like, yeah, there's a place called the Rose Bowl you might have heard of. I'd like to play there one day.
Yeah, someone just said something called Madison Square Garden to me. That sounds
That
cool.
sounds pretty cool.
That sounds awesome. Red Rocks.
Yeah.
I mean, those are very cool venues. I've never been. I want to someday.
Same. 100%.
Those are all good ones.
I'll come see you guys play there someday.
Oh, hell yeah.
We'll see you there. You'll get the backstage pass.
If you're from Boston, did you go to like Boston Calling? Did that already happen this year?
I didn't go this year, but I went last year. Yep. It's very cool.
Cool.
Very different than Summerfest. Summerfest is unlike any festival I've ever been to.
Yeah, Summerfest is weird in that way.
Rad.
Yeah. Boston Calling's always seemed really cool, though. That seems like a good fest.
It is. It's a lot of people and it's very intense, especially if you've never been in the area
Yeah.
and don't know like what you're doing.
Sure.
It could be a lot.
So what was your impression of Summerfest? Did you come away enjoying it?
I did. I thought it was really cool. It felt more like a family festival than any festival I'd been to before, which was really like a unique experience I hadn't had before. Like more multi-generational than just like a lot of people like in this, you know, like especially in Boston because it's a college town. It's a lot of college students that go to Boston Calling.
Yeah. A lot of kids, I feel like, have their first concert at Summerfest, which is cool to see. AJ can speak to that. He had some family members have their first
Right.
show be Alley Eyes.
Yeah, my little like nieces and nephews who are all like 3 and under were all at their first like real show. It's kind of funny seeing them all with like the earmuffs on and everything, just hanging out. But they all had like little signs. It was very cute.
Wait, yeah, AJ, you've got the one. Can I go grab it?
Sure.
Oh, that's so cute.
But yeah, I hear that. It's definitely like, at least like local Midwest for us, like the difference between Summerfest and like.
Oh,
There's a flip side. There's sparkles
Oh,
on
and
the
then-
flip
I know,
side.
and then-
oh, that's so cute.
I know.
But yeah, the difference between like a Summerfest and like a Lollapalooza or something is like night and day. It's great.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was at both this year and it was very different.
Lala is intense.
Yeah, that was much more similar to Boston Calling than
Yeah.
yeah.
Did you catch Cage Elephant at Lala this year?
I did not. I only went on Saturday.
Was that Rufus to Soul?
Yes.
Nice. That's fun. They had a good lineup this year.
Yeah.
Sorry to keep derailing your questions, but I want to know if you're from Boston. Have you seen a show at Fenway? That's like
Yes.
my one huge like bucket list.
I have. And it was surprising because I was like, I wonder how the acoustics are going to be because it's not made for it, but it was actually really good.
Yeah. Who'd you see?
Imagine Dragons.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that one to me is like, I feel like walking into Fenway would feel the same way as like when I first got to go to Wrigley Field, of like not even necessarily like being a fan of the team, but just like walking through very like sacred grounds that like when my grandmother from Kentucky went to Wrigley the first time, she just like dropped to her knees and sobbed. And like you see that anytime you're in like either building. So, but yeah, so Fenway would be cool.
Yeah, Fenway's really cool. They actually built a music venue on the backside of it. MGM
The MGM,
Fenway.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's another cool venue. That one's inside so that they can do stuff during the winter.
And that was like smaller, right? It's like a 5,000 cap, something like that.
It is, and it's like 3 levels. It's weird. It's a very
Oh,
weird venue.
Huh.
Yeah. I don't love it, but it's nicer because it's smaller than like an arena size. And
Yeah.
anywhere you sit is still a like even if you're like on the 3rd floor, it's still a better view than you would get in the nosebleed at like
Sure.
TD Garden. So
Yeah. Yeah, word.
did you have any other questions about Boston? Any other dying? I can answer them now. I don't mind.
I mean, John Cena's from Boston. Want to talk about John Cena?
If you want.
Matt Damon, Mocky Mock.
Matt Damon from Boston? Oh, I knew that. Yeah, him and Affleck are. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that when they get the Oscar for Good Will Hunting, they thank Boston like twice.
Yeah.
Thanks to Boston.
Yeah. I was just watching yesterday Infernal Affairs, which The Departed is based off of, and I spent the entire time thinking of like Jack Nicholson's supposed to be a Boston gangster, but it's just talking like Jack Nicholson. He's got no accent or anything. It just makes me laugh every time. So I guess it's not a question. I'm just talking about Boston related things now.
It's a really good story. Colton.
Love movies.
Do you have a favorite movie?
You definitely don't have the Boston accent. Like I wouldn't have guessed.
No, because I'm like I'm like 15 to 20 minutes outside of Boston.
Yeah.
But it's actually, I don't find too many people with the Boston accent. It's less common than you would think.
Okay.
I
In my
feel like
opinion, at
that's like
least.
such a like thing of like the 70s and 80s too. Because like no, who do you meet that has New Jersey accents anymore? Like my best friend, his whole family's from New Jersey, and they talk like they're from Wisconsin.
Yeah, well, it's the internet. We all just talk like the people we see on our screens or whatnot. Because I feel the same about the Midwest accent. I don't know that many people that, oh, hey there, how's it going, don't you know, or whatnot. That Minnesotan sort of Midwest. I don't feel like I hear that a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, sure. I didn't think about that. How we're like all watching or listening to people online and then kind of getting rid of accents.
Yeah. Yeah, there's just one accent of the internet.
That's the new accent. Just different, whoever you watch.
Internet accent.
www.accent.
that was a good one. Put that in the act, AJ.
Before I ask the last question, was there anything else that you guys wanted to talk about or mention today?
We'll be playing those 2 Age of Madness shows that Jason just mentioned in Milwaukee at the Vivarium, and then finally in Minneapolis on September 12th and 13th. So that'd be fun if you come out and see us there. Otherwise, we'd love it if you checked out our new EP, Bondage in the Afternoon.
Right. So the last question is, what is the soundtrack of your life?
Oh boy,
Man.
How much time do you have?
I gotta give a condensed version of this. I mean, obviously, I'm wearing a Wilco shirt right now, so that kind of says something about what I'm interested in. I feel like we all, in some ways, bring like our own kind of influences to the table, which is really beneficial for the songwriting process. And I feel like we all think about melody differently. We have our similarities, but then also like a lot of our music taste overlaps to a degree. Like for myself, I'm very Wilco, Yola Tango, Dinosaur Jr., a lot of like 90s bands like the Feelies, that's Glenn Mercer, also Real Estate, the Birds.
You're gonna be like 1,000 years old. You got a long soundtrack.
Yeah, I feel like everything. I like everything 90s, new wave.
If my soundtrack of my life, I think it's 3 albums. Is This It by The Strokes, Pure Heroin by Lord, and Modern Vampires of the City by Vampire Weekend.
Why? Tell us why.
Wouldn't you like to know?
Jason, you got any?
I was also trying to think of 3 records, and I'm having a hard time getting on a third one. How close are you?
I'm gonna reference. I have. Like, we're at my house right now doing like a bunch of music stuff. I got some posters up of like records that mean a lot to me. So, Too Weird to Live, Too Rare to Die by Panic at the Disco. That's probably my favorite record. I don't know how, but they found me. Put out a record called Gloom Division. That record means a lot to me. And then up here I got Brandon Flowers singing to me. So I'll say the live album that the Killers put out at Royal Albert Hall. That's the final.
So I was also going to say Royal Albert Hall from Killers. I thought AJ would say that was a really big one for me. I went to see that in theaters when I was in first grade. That was an important one. But if I was to boil it down to 3, I'd say the Ben Folds 5 self-titled record, the debut. Ben Folds was kind of my first biggest foray into music. Once I moved beyond stuff I still like now, but Beatles and kind of more classic stuff, Ben Folds felt really immediate to me when I was a little kid, 5 or 6. Then I'll say Because the Internet, Childish Gambino. that was really big in like late middle school, early high school for me. I feel like that was my first time of listening to someone who like you can tell on that record that like LCD Sound System meant as much to him as like Tribe Called Quest or Jay-Z did, and I really appreciate that of being able to bring poppier elements into a really good rap album with really strong game. Also, he references Ben Folds 5 in that album, so there you go. And then it's hard to think of a third one. I'm trying to think of something recent.
You don't have to have a third.
No, I do, because that's like 3 periods. That's like single digits, teens, and now 20s. No, that's like key. I'll say broadly Bruce Springsteen. I've listened to a lot of Bruce Springsteen, like 19 and onward. My favorite of which probably being The River. That, and then more recent thing, that Last Act Brian record that came out last year is incredible. I fucking love that album, and I've been listening to that a lot, and I feel like that's been a really important record to me in the first bit of my 20s, so that'd be mine.
Okay. So thank you guys for coming and talking to me today. For anyone who wants to stay updated on you guys, potentially see you on your at your shows, where can they find you?
We are most probably active on Instagram. We're at Alleyeyes Band. And then our website kind of has all that same information. It's alleyeyesmusic.com.
Well, again, thank you so much for coming and talking to me today.
Thank you for having. Appreciate it.
Listeners, go check them out, and don't forget to subscribe and follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Blue Sky, and TikTok at STO Lives Podcast. Thanks for listening.
Late night calls, the red getting breath and broken sweaty walls.